Do good things really come in threes? Or is it celebrity deaths? Well, Sony's betting on the former because ever since their big pre-E3 press conference, the convention has been buzzing about the PlayStation 3. Being the skeptic that I am, I had to check it out for myself. Here at E3 2005, Sony is featuring a return to many popular franchises. Focus! They may be sequels, but these games are bringing something new to the table. For instance, Naughty Dog is bringing back Jak, but they've completely left the platform hopping behind and dropped its hero behind the wheel of a racing game. But Jak X Combat Racing is more than just a minigame gone prime time. You get all the features you'd expect, dozens of tracks, customizable cars, different racing modes, and more. Like any good racer, there's also a number of multiplayer modes to choose from. You'll be able to race split screen with your friends, and then go online and be humiliated by 10-year-olds. The fourth installment of the Ratchet & Clank series takes the zany franchise in a different direction as well. Ratchet Deadlock takes the online deathmatching elements of the previous game and makes it the focus. The new Ratchet game also includes a split-screen co-op mode, so you can invite a friend over for some sheepinating. Sucker Punch is showing off the newest installment in the best and only Sneaky Raccoon series in existence. In Sly 3, the gameplay looks to be much the same as the previous two, with a slightly bigger cast of teammates to choose from. And if you get tired of creeping around all by yourself, Sly 3 has both co-op and competitive multiplayer modes. Oh, and also, it's in 3D. That's right, Sucker Punch is finding the time to build a special 3D mode for the game. So get those red and blue lenses ready. Despite so many sequels making an appearance, the standout game for the PS2 is something entirely new. Shadow of the Colossus is being created by the team that made Ico. It's here, and it's playable for the first time. Aside from being one of the best-looking games to appear on the PlayStation 2, Shadow of the Colossus promises to be one of the most original titles for any system. You and your horse have to seek out the many temples hidden throughout the huge world and defeat the temple guardians when you find them. But actually defeating the guardians is a lot more complex and fun than it might seem. Definitely keep a keen eye on Shadow of the Colossus. You may have heard about Sony's recent addition to the PlayStation family, the little bundle of joy I like to call the PSP. Well, EA definitely has, and it has more than a few titles that show off the power of the little guy. We love Burnout, and Burnout Legends on the PSP is probably one of our most anticipated games for the system. It was inevitable that EA would want to bring its successful racing series to the PSP, and so far the translation is looking ace. Well, that's it for Sony this year. Thanks for watching. What's that? The PS what? Oh, right, that thing. Unless you've been living under a rock, then you're aware that Sony is releasing the new PS3. Well, if you have been living under a rock, well then let me introduce you to your new life. A new life full of beautiful, beautiful games. Now, the PS3 isn't coming out for most likely more than a year, but the Sony booth brings us hope.
Hey, you're completely in 3D, Kevin.
You're hysterical. But I do want to talk a little bit about Sly's 3D mode.
Yes, because it's not the entire game.
Right.
No, it's the select levels that you can get once you play the game all the way through. You can unlock them, play them again in 3D, and it works.
You know, I can hear everybody being really afraid. They're like, how are they going to ruin Sly? But so it's not the whole
Well, now you know how they're going to ruin it. They're going to try and do 3D.
No, but this is the best part.
I tried it. It's not that bad.
No, the
it's
3D
actually
is
not
good.
that bad.
But also, my biggest problem with Sly 2 was that you lost a lot of the great platforming that was in Sly 1.
Excuse me. And this seems to be a far better mixture of both. I was seeing levels that were just like the Great Vegas level in the first game.
Right. Okay, Ratchet & Clank.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games, Dots of Deathmatch. I love that. Clank is unfortunately not with him through the whole game, but he does have bots that are friends with him, and he can like take over points. Little like onslaught mode, which is very exciting.
Right. And then also, as we're seeing right there, there we go. There's our Ratchet. I think the other thing about it is that in the single player, they're doing some of the great levels from Ratchet 3, which they were kind of these large bases where you drove around, you had to do battles in various areas. If they disappoint me, I will be surprised.
Now, have they run out of ideas on the single player end, or did they just want to stop making the same game over and over?
They made their first-person shooter right now as well.
There we go.
Yes. And there's also something called Shadow of the Colossus, which people have been pretty excited about.
Gorgeous.
There's actually a grip meter that you have, and so it's really you're trying to grip onto the Colossus to climb it. It's not just about attacking, it's climbing it, finding its weak points. There's also another system where you hold up your sword, and where the sunlight kind of points to, that's where you're going. So it's a new take on the whole old school map system, which is interesting.
And it's another game with a horse. It's a good time to have a horse fetish.
It's just like Barbie Horse Adventure.
This is maybe the year of the horse. No, that's not what this year's. I think the one thing is, I think I want to see more about Shadow of Colossus because I'm afraid the gameplay may get repetitive. I think I really want to see this entire game.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.